Hi sweeties, and welcome to another video. Today we are going to discuss my final thoughts and whether or not I think you should watch Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. Make sure to leave me a comment down below if you think you had the correct hunch on who you thought A was. I was completely wrong, but we'll get into that. So stay tuned, make sure to like and subscribe. Okay, I'm going to be 100% transparent about the fact that I do not have a pre-written script for this video. So it's pretty much just whatever comes off the dome, if that makes sense. It's been a few days since I finished Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. It was a total 10 episodes, which isn't that bad. Now, I know a lot of shows try and be more than themselves, if that makes sense. For example, One of Us is Lying. I'm pretty sure that's the title. One of Us is Lying. It was good in a way that it answered the questions the series brought up, except the fact it had a cliffhanger. A lot of these shows like to end things on a cliffhanger in hopes they'll get a season 2. But I just didn't see it being a more than one season show. But I believe Pretty Little Liars Original Sin did a fantastic job tying up all the loose ends. Now, do I think it was a little rushed? Yes, just in a few things here and there, but overall, I give it a 10 out of 10 with my closure. I don't feel like there's something keeping me up at night, if that makes sense. Like, honestly, every question was answered. Now, are there some things I'm kind of like, what happened there? Of course, obviously, but for closure, 10 out of 10. Would I like to see a second season? I feel like everything that involved Angela Waters, the mothers, the daughters, the sheriff, like it all, like I said previously, closure, 10 out of 10. What would season 2 honestly be about? Like, would it be about them going to college, or I don't know. Like, I don't think there's anything that would bring a need to a second season. I wouldn't mind if they did another series with a new group of liars, but I think with this group of girls, our story is finished. It started and finished quite elegantly. I probably said that wrong. It's fine. In 10 episodes. Why did Karen have to die? If I'm being honest. Like, I think more towards the end, you kind of get some type of understanding. A murders bullies. Why was Tyler murdered? He was a bully to Tabby. Why was Karen murdered? She was a bully to everyone. But did they really have to die? Like, I don't know. That's the only thing I have a problem with. You know, like, the girls are being taught a lesson. The mothers were bullies. They were being taught a lesson as well. But they didn't lose their lives. It's all a little sussy to me. In terms of each character, I'm gonna give kind of like a rating on how I felt things were done in their honor. So Farron, I really feel like her story was 4 out of 10. I don't relate to the whole ballet thing, which was like her entire personality. Like, when she found out she had to sit out for 6 months due to her back issues, you know, I kind of see Farron as a go-getter. Okay, I can't do ballet for the next 6 months. Let's pursue a different passion in the meantime. But she didn't do that. She was like, I'm wearing my brace double time so that I get double healed in 3 months. And her teacher was even like, that math won't work, honey. Don't do that. I'm not going to pursue this play until next year. Like, calm down. Her mother got to stay in Millwood, not necessarily getting back with her father, but do we really feel like Farron's mom being around is good for her? I just feel like there's a lot that they need to work on, especially after all this A drama. But still, Farron, I'm sorry, girl. 4 out of 10. The next person I'm going to discuss is Noah. I think her storyline as well is a lower side of the rating scale. I'm going to say 5 out of 10 just because there was some depth to her story. She wasn't the one doing the drugs. She was covering for her mom. Her mom was like, I'll do rehab. No, I won't. Yes, I will. So that kind of whole dynamic was pretty interesting to see. Her mother wasn't her entire personality. It was, she was interested in sports. She's interested in helping out her family. She's interested in pursuing a relationship with Sean, who was also doing drugs, which is like, I don't know. That's a lot for that girl to handle. And I really think maybe she should just focus on herself, because every time she gets close to someone, they do drugs or they just become a burden on her life. So Noah, I really hope you just run track, girl. Run as far as you can from Millwood, especially. Please do. Tabby's story, I'm also going to give 4.5 out of 10, just because her story wasn't as one note as Farron's, but it was quite developed as Noah's. And in the terms of developed, I mean, her life isn't just about the movie theater, whereas Farron's life was all about ballet. Farron had the movie theater, but she also had her passion for directing, her passion for films, and her passion to find out who hurt her. And I really feel like she's the type of person that once she starts something, she's gonna see it through. And I really like how passionate Tabby is. The only thing I didn't like about her story is her and her mom had very bad communication, and I believe it's both their faults. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, the mom's the adult, she should take initiative. But, Tabby wasn't the type to really explain to her mom what was going on in her life. And I'm talking besides her assault. So a lot of times, Wes was dropping her off from work. I have never had a job where my superior brought me home. That to me is just weird. And then for Tabby's mother to let this go along for so long, you know what I mean? It's like, if her mom was going to have a problem with it or had a pre-established problem with it, she should have been like, maybe after the second ride home, hey, why does your boss give you a ride home so often? I can pick you up, or can't Chip bring you home? Well, we all know about Chip. But what I'm saying is, the way that her mother just showed up at her job and completely just went nuts on her boss is just totally unacceptable and could have been prevented. So that kind of frustrates me. It's like, Tabby's whole storyline, there was a lot of preventative steps that could have been taken that weren't. And they were so obvious, it just bothers me. Like, I don't know. Maybe there are some parents out there who are just completely oblivious to what's going on in their kid's life. But, I mean, breaking into her room to take her tablet out or her laptop, whatever, to see those naked boys on there, like, I mean, there was obviously problems leading up to that, and you knew they were happening, you just didn't say anything. The next liar I will be talking about is my favorite liar, Imogen. I know it's kind of cliche to have the main character be your favorite character, but honestly, she was. And I give her storyline a decent 7 out of 10. The reason why I'm giving her a higher score than the previous girls is because not only did she go through so much stuff, she never let it get to her. Like, at the end of the day, she was still Imogen. Like, she was assaulted and got pregnant. That didn't stop her. Her and her mom put a plan in place, and that's what was going to happen. She lost her mother. You know what? She put another plan into place, and she didn't let it stop her. Of course, we all have times of weakness, and she kind of had that weird freak out when they were like trying to contact her mom's ghost. But that's expected. Imogen is such a strong character. I know if I was in her shoes, oh, I would be a mess. I definitely wouldn't have gone to school. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? The fact that she went to school, let alone, is like, wow, okay, nothing's gonna stop this girl. Nothing at all. No way. And the closure that she had with everything, which honestly, I don't have closure for her about her mom. Like, I honest to God thought her mom was just gonna be like, psych, I'm alive. But when someone dug up her mother's grave and then she had to get the diary pages out her dead mother's mouth, I was like, oh, this is real. Her mom actually died. Her mom, oh, I don't know. That really, whew. And this whole time, Imogen never thought that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in her mind, her mom died and her mom was dead. But like, as a viewer, I'm always skeptical about what's going on. But the fact that she was living all of that and trying to find out Angela Waters and trying to find out who assaulted her, like, wow, Imogen, you're just a boss. And I really appreciate a boss type character. Like, even when Karen, Kelly, the twins, whenever they would pull their shit, you know what? She would call them out on it. Or she would be the bigger person and say, hey, you know what? We need to talk about some shit that you did. You know what I mean? So, Imogen, boss. Boss lady. And last but not squeak, we have Mouse. Okay, so I'm giving Mouse, let me think. I have to mull it over. I'm going to give Mouse a 6.5 out of 10. Just because of how stupid she is. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so blunt, but that is the most eloquent way that I can describe Mouse's actions. Like, come on. Come on. You have to agree with me. Like, okay. I didn't quite understand what she was doing with Steve, the older guy, at first. I considered it role-playing because she was playing a role and he was going along with it. Nothing really, sexual happened, but I didn't know. After being traumatized by Riverdale and Betty being a cam girl, you just don't know about these things. So eventually, I think it was maybe episode 9 or 10, when she's pretty much held hostage in his hotel room, and her mothers find her and her boyfriend's with the mothers. And they're like, what's going on? Like, why are you in this hotel room with this man and you're wearing his daughter's clothes? Like, what? Like, how do you explain that? And she explained it perfectly. I just wish they would have explained it a little sooner, but she was playing pretend. Do you know how innocent that word is compared to role playing? At least to me. Like, she said that she's playing pretend. To me, that's innocent. That's trying to cope with something traumatic. That word just clicks a little better with me rather than role playing. Role playing implies something else will happen. I don't know. That's just me. maybe I'm weird, but when she said pretend, I was like, okay, all right. I got you now. We're on the same page. I got you now. Based on her shoebox, how many photos did she have in that shoebox? Like, holy shit, a bunch. And none of those men stalked her? Why was Steve the only one to stalk her? Like, you're telling me she got away with playing pretend with all these older men for God knows how long? Just for one out of, let's say 30. One out of 30 stalks her? Like, no, that's just weird. No, I don't believe it. So that to me was kind of, Mouse, don't stop doing this. You really had to be stalked to understand that what you're doing is bad, you know? That was strike one. Strike two, I would honestly say, oh no. When she tried to find her dad, you don't know how annoyed I was. So, back to this whole role play pretend nonsense. Tell me how Mouse finds this old random ass Girl Scouts vest. I'm like, what is she doing with that? Where is she going? What is she doing? To go fake deliver Girl Scout cookies to her biological father's house. Okay? Who does that? Who would think to do that? Like, you have his address. Send him a letter. Kind of say, hey, I want a relationship with you. Or, hey, what happened when I was a kid that you tried to abduct me? And if he responds to your letter, you know what? That's awesome. That's great. That's a step towards progress. If he doesn't respond to your letter, just don't even worry about it anymore. Go to therapy. Try and get some closure. But she's showing up at this man's house as a Girl Scout. As a Girl Scout. How cringe. So of course he's like, I want nothing to do with you. You need to leave. Obviously, Mouse, are you kidding me right now? I was just like, I feel bad for you, but girl, you stupid. Get the wase. Like, what are you doing? So that was strike two for my squeaky sister Mouse. Strike three, I believe, would tie into strike one just because of how stupid it is. Oh my gosh. She let Steve pretend to be her father when Ash was there. Ash is her boyfriend. Like, how? First off, you hang out with this older gentleman. Second off, he stalks you. Third off, you tell him, don't bother me. Fourth off, now he playing your daddy? Girl, what are you doing? Like, and I don't understand how it made sense. Like, her moms and Ash were just, oh, you're safe, okay. Like, no, I want to know. Did she get her device taken away? Did she delete her Discord? Like, oh my God, if that was my child, they are grounded until college. I don't care. They want to go on a date, Ash can come to our house. Like, stupid. So stupid. Oh my gosh. I will never get over Mouse's storyline. So stupid. The final character I will be discussing is the principal and A for Archie. I think it's absolutely hilarious when I open Chrome on my phone. Pretty Little Liars, A, not connected to Riverdale. Who out here is thinking Archie from Riverdale is Archie in Millwood? You have got to be kidding me. Are you serious? How would Archie from Riverdale, who's already living his life, be Angela Waters' brother? Like, what are you talking about? So for people who did that, why you do that? That makes no sense. And something else that doesn't make sense is when the principal basically summarizes how, Angela was his daughter and he kind of watched her develop into this person because he was the principal at that time. It just, I don't know. It was just so weird. Like, if your partner at the time had twins and you're only eligible to see one of them, you're not even a bit curious about the other one? Like, I understand his whole, Rose said Archie had a face only a mother could love. Alright, so why did she lock him in a cage? Like, she's out here with, like, baby blankets and crayons with this boy in a cage. Why? Like, oh my god, I still can't get over that. Like, they didn't even take A's mask off. Why? He was that ugly? I'm sorry. I've seen the Goonies. If you can get uglier than that, I'd like to see it. I'm honestly curious if you could just show me. Because that's another thing that we all wanted as Pretty Little Liars fans. We wanted that snatched mask A reveal. But you're telling me there's nothing beyond the mask? Like, is the mask better looking than his face? Because, I don't know. I want to see the face of this person. This person who pushed Karen. This person who killed Sheriff Beasley. This person who slayed Chip. That was great. That was great. I couldn't believe that. Chip got out on bail and A was like, not today, not today. I was like, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And what's Archie gonna do now? Like, if he's really so ugly, he has to be caged from society. I'm sorry, what else is he supposed to do now? Doesn't really make sense to me, but okay. And finally, do I think people should watch this show? I would give it a 8 out of 10. I really think you should watch it. Now, as someone who's watched the original Pretty Little Liars, that was most of the motivation. As someone who would be brand new to Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, I'd say give it a shot. Definitely give it a shot. It's something worth watching. It's something, dip your toes in it. And if you like it, if you want something even crazier, something that has zero continuity, something that decided to just change this character to this thing to be that person and relate it to that person, the original series is for you. But I think for someone who's like, a lot of people talk about these shows. Are they any good? Yes. I would say definitely watch it. As to why I didn't get a 10 out of 10, pretty much what I said previously about each of the storylines. I really think the storylines plus their personalities, a little more could have been developed. But hey, there's only 10 episodes. You can't really do a lot with 10 episodes. You can't. But they did their best, and it was awesome. And if there is a second season, I'd really be interested, because I don't know how a second season would tie in, but I'd be interested for it. Definitely let me know down in the comments below if you are planning on watching the series, or if you have already. Leave a like and subscribe for more awesome content. And yeah, thanks.